Hey everyone. So today I have kind of an interesting little lock here. This is a Metal ZX5J, is what the key says. Um, I think this lock, as I mentioned in the picking portion, is Russian, but I'm not 100% sure. So this has two mechanisms. You can see from the key it's got a set of dimples, and it's also got a slider track. Um, so two mechanism lock, but not super difficult to pick. I wouldn't put this in the realm of high security, and I'll talk about why in a second. So as far as the pin stacks go, there are 5 stacks, as you can see. The drivers are the same in each stack, and it might be a little difficult to see here, but they are tapered and very dirty. So you can see there's a little bit of tapering on the bottom and top of that driver. So you do have to kind of put it through multiple clicks to get it to set. If you look at the key pins, there's also a little bit of tapering on the top of the key pin. So probably there to function as an overset trap. Now, the secondary mechanism on this lock you can see is right here on the bottom. It does have a groove there for a sidebar. This is the sidebar right here. It's just a round piece of metal that fits into this groove in the bottom of the housing, so you can see there. It's held out by 2 springs, which are again over here, and it is controlled by these 2 sliders on the bottom. So you can see these are unsprung sliders. They both move freely. They do not have any false gates on them whatsoever. But when you have the key inserted into the lock, they line up just like that, and the sidebar can fall into that, the gate on each one, and then the lock will open. So because there's no false gates and because there's only 2 sliders, I mean, it functions as a secondary mechanism, but only in the loosest sense of the word. It's probably more key control than anything else. I have not seen another example of these, so I do not know if this slider track differs from lock to lock. In a higher security application, it absolutely would, but sometimes these kind of cheaper 2 mechanism locks will have the same slider track for every single key, and it's literally just you have to get the blanks from metal that have this specific track on them in order for the lock to open. But it's not like it's a restricted type of secondary mechanism. So again, not too terribly difficult to pick. Took me, I don't know, maybe 15-20 minutes to kind of figure out and get used to the feedback. I hadn't gutted it before I picked it, so I didn't know that there were tapered drivers, but I had my suspicions just from the way it functioned. So, but yeah, with that, we'll get over into the next section and get it up in the vise, and you'll see it picked. All right. So I've got my metal ZX5J right here. Key is real finicky, especially if I've been picking this. But you can see it works. And let's see what we can do here. So the first thing I'm going to do is set the dimple pins here. Interestingly, these feel like they bind really hard. They also act sort of tapered. I have never gutted this, so I do not know exactly what's in it. We will find out once I get it open. But you saw probably I just got a little bit of cord movement there, but there's a lot of tapping the various pins in this lock that has to take place here before I get enough of a false set that I feel like I can move to the sliders. going through here, I'm tapping all the pins just to see which ones I can get to move. Every once in a while I get a little tiny bit of core rotation. Okay, that was the false set right there. So next up, I've got to grab these sliders. I'm just using a flag for the sliders. Seems to work okay. There we go. I can kind of tell which slider I'm on because I get some feedback from it just from pushing it. So that is open. Let's get this and see what is actually inside. This has kind of a brutal C-clip on it. I think I'm going to have to bend that up to get it off. Let me see what I have here. I think maybe I can use a screwdriver to get enough space in there. Yeah. Maybe I can get my C-clip pliers in. It does bend fairly easily, so. Sorry, bear with me. C-clip pliers were not set up correctly for removing a clip. Okay, there we go. Might need a little more space in there. Worked. I think this follower is the right size. I'm going to shim this. It's because I've never gutted it before and I don't know if there's anything weird in here. Alright, let's see how this goes. There's going to be sliders in here. I'm hoping they don't fly out the bottom, but we're going to find out. Okay. So there's the key pins there. I think I'm holding the sliders in on the bottom here, so you can see the key pins. Let's see if I can dump these. There's one. Two. 3, 4, 5. Okay. There's the slider mechanism. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly what to make of this. think I need my tweezers. I'm very ill-prepared here, trying to figure out where I placed my tweezers on my messy desk. Sorry about that. I was using them for something else, and they were not where they were supposed to be. Okay, so there's my key pins. There's just a bar here. You can see that. It's just a straight metal bar. And there's two springs pushing it out. I'm going to pull the key out here. Okay, I'm going to grab these springs. Are these crimped in? They might be. Okay, I'm going to drop these springs out. Okay, there's the springs. So it looks like the springs push the sidebar out. Pardon me while I zoom in slightly here. Okay. So it looks like, yeah, those springs. Oh, focus. Autofocus off. Okay, yeah, so those springs push the sidebar out, and then the sliders are underneath it. And they just go back and forth. They are unsprung. And when they're in the right spot, they don't have any false gates, it looks like. Yeah, no false gates. So when they are in the right spot, that sidebar can fall in, and then you can get the final movement you need out of there. Okay, let's look at the drivers here. Don't need my shim anymore. So that does look like it has some slight tapering on it. I'll try to get a better view when these are all out. Okay. So there's the groove right there that sidebar fits into. I'm going to dump the springs here. Okay, and let's see if I can get a good view. So you can see the tops and bottoms of these drivers do have some tapering on them. So I was right about that. And then just the two unsprung sliders controlling that bottom sidebar. And I think that these are crimped in, so these do not come out, but you can see they have kind of free movement there. Yeah, there you go. Again, that is a Metal ZX5J. I think this lock is Russian. I'm not 100% sure though. But yeah, kind of interesting. Not too difficult to get open, but kind of some weird elements in there for sure. All right, thank you for watching.